Hello and welcome to JTV YouTube Live Shorts. I'm your host, Janette Burke. Today I'm joined by Charr Murphy. She is a four-time breast cancer survivor. She is an attorney, a coach, and she's also the creator of a book series called Hope Mission. And I am happy to welcome you, Charlotte, or Char, if you prefer to be called.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here to speak with you, Janette.
And I'm excited to have you. So this is a series. It currently contains 3 different books, but it will have 5 books in totality. And so let's talk about the 3 pieces, right? And why you chose to have the 3 different pieces. I believe one is about faith, another is about thriving in your soul, and the third one is about love. So let's talk about each piece and how they integrate and why you chose to make the book series like this, focusing on 3 different pieces in the order that you focus on them on.
That's a really good question, and I'd love to answer that. Mission Hope was divinely inspired. It actually was a gift to me from the divine, and I was inspired to write the series. The actual books themselves, the subjects were given to me all in order, and there is a series of 5. We are currently on starting book volume 4, and as you said, there's 3 right now. The first one was Mission Hope, Thriving Through Seasons of the Soul. These are all books about hope, and then the series is the second one was Faith, as you said, Mission Hope, Faith, Inspirational Stories of Faith and Triumph. And then the third, Mission Hope, The Power of Love, which we just launched last month. And so that when I was asked to do this mission, to start that, as I said, they were all given to me in order. There are 2 more. The one we're working on currently is Grace and Gratitude. And they are all stories. I've had 18 to 20 authors in each book that I manage. Excuse me. And they are all stories of overcoming challenges. As you mentioned, my own experience with breast cancer is important because that is part of my story, which changed my life, obviously, forever, which I did overcome it. I'm very blessed to still be here, as all of our authors have very intense and inspiring stories of things that they have overcome as well in their lives. So this series is to give hope to really the world, which is struggling in so many areas right now. And people
but why in that order? So I know you told me it's divinely inspired, but why in that particular order?
Well, the first one, Hope, was just generally talking about thriving through, not just surviving, but thriving through the seasons of the soul. Different, everyone goes through transitions and transformation in life. And so the first one was Hope, to set the stage for the rest of those. Mm-hmm. The second one, Faith, was naturally would follow Hope, then Faith, and then love, because all and to me they all are the order is a natural sequence of flow. You kind of have to have hope and faith before you can have love. And then the fourth one, grace and gratitude. So those are all so important subjects for people.
Right. So this is all about empowerment. And I'm
Exactly.
going to move on with a couple more questions, such as
Yes,
describe a little bit about the process you put into creating the book. Like, how does it come together? How do you find these authors? You
yes,
mentioned it's a collection. It's a collection of 18 different authors, each book. So
exactly.
what's the process of finding them? And how do you bring them together, and how do you make these books come to life?
Those are all very good questions. Well, when I was inspired, given the inspiration to do this, I also said, kind of laughingly, jokingly, sure, I'll do that. Not knowing how, just I had the why, but not the how. And then it was shown to me. And I said, I'll do it, but you are going to have to send me the right people at the right time. And that's exactly what happened. I reached out to a lot of different people. And in the beginning, it was a little difficult because it was not established. And so the first book was just sort of a testing ground to see. And it took me a little bit to fill that one up. After the first one, the second and the third and the fourth have just flowed. And a lot of, I would say 15 authors are repeating, and they all have stories around the subject matter. And they're
So
all,
different
so,
stories, right?
yeah.
Different stories around the subject matter. Okay, so getting on to the actual other authors that co-author with you in this collection, what was it about their particular stories that attracted you to them to say, yes, I will have you part of this book or this collection or even multiple
Yes,
books?
yes.
And so what was it about it that that you resonated with their stories so
Mhm.
that they would be featured? And then the second part is, and how do their stories, how will the audience resonate with their stories as
Yes,
your own?
yes. Again, very good questions. Thank you. Um, the the stories are amazing, really, what people go through and get through, and then are able to overcome things like the suicide of a child,
Mhm.
or the loss of a spouse, or just so many things that are um, that we can't even imagine the grief and the things that they go through. And people actually, I mean, people understand and resonate with these stories. They're all different. Each and every one of them are completely different.
Mhm.
And so that was important too. But at the same time, they all go together because they are so heart touching, um, so warming. They are stories that people relate to because people go through those things, and then um, they're lost for a time. They don't even know how to recover from such things.
Mhm.
So these people writing about overcoming all these things that they have so miraculously, and they all feel blessed, and they all want to tell their stories to give back for the blessings that they have received in their lives, and to help other people to overcome whatever is going on in their lives. And I guarantee you there's something in each book that's different, that's going to help someone. And they write because they say, and I say this too, if my story can help just one person, then I feel successful in what I'm doing.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you now, because we need a little meat and potatoes here to, I mean, you're scratching the surface, but you're not really telling me exactly what's in there. So I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, since you're one of the contributors or one of the writers, to share your story with us, or at least part of
Certainly.
it. And
Certainly.
and then use that as an example, then how, because my next question is, how can these stories evoke confidence and courage to move forward in life, to overcome anything, right? Whether it's a health issue, a divorce, financial problems, so on and so forth, that we all, have different aspects of things going on in life. So how can these stories help us overcome it and build the confidence that we need to overcome it, and even gain the resources and the tools to overcome it? Use yourself as an
Yes.
example. Tell me your story and answer the question, please.
Okay. I'll be happy to. Thank you. I, as you mentioned, am a 4-time breast cancer survivor. I am an attorney still. I do not practice. I had my own firm, and for 10 years of 15 years of the law practice. And that was my identity, as a very highly successful attorney in my field. And I had, after 10 years, I had of owning my own law firm. I had my first breast cancer diagnosis, and then it was followed by 3 more. And
Wow.
I was fortunate to have good doctors, and I had the care that I needed to overcome that. But it was difficult, as you can imagine,
Yes.
because, yes.
I survived it 4 times. That's unbelievable. And I take my hat off to you, because I'm talking to you today and you look fantastic. To look at you, you would never know that you had that going on in your life. And maybe that's the case with other people too, right? We don't always know by looking.
Exactly.
But so in
Exactly.
answer to the question, then continue your story. And then I do want to know how this book can be a resource for others to overcome, to step up into their confidence, to
Yes.
have the power, the knowledge, and the resources to truly overcome and survive anything.
So after the all of the cancer diagnosis, and somehow I practiced law, I was able to practice on a limited basis during that time. But the longer that it went on, the treatments were intense, and very draining, to say the least. And I had, lawyers have, I think, one of the highest stress related positions that there possibly can be. The other one is CPA, which my father was a CPA. Anyway, so the doctors eventually told me that if I did not stop practicing law, that it would kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. And I had just remodeled a home. It was basically a brand new home, and I had just remarried. And at that time, My whole world, my identity, everything that I knew was turned upside down.
Mhm.
And I had no idea what I was going to do or how I was going to do it. So, everything that we need to survive and thrive and empower ourselves is within us. We all possess the tools inside of us. It's accessing those tools that we already have to have that strength and courage that you were referring to just keep going, to get up in the morning and be grateful for another day. That's powerful.
Mhm.
And so that's the way I look at life, is we've all got what we need. I mean, sometimes, we do need help from, say, a counselor or a psychologist or a therapist of some type to get through some things. It's just a fact.
Mhm.
But that's okay. And I had a few of those myself.
Thank you. So, how were you able then? I hear your story and it's great. And I think it's full of wisdom for other people or other women that are going through this. And unfortunately, sometimes the stress of a powerful career, along with, outside stresses of family, children, what have you, combined can be too much for us. And that can lead to sickness. And certainly, a lot of women kind of go through that. So, I do want them to listen to this message, but I also want them to know the way you have made it known, there's hope. There's something else. And while you might not have the answers come to you immediately, they will come. It'll so my guess my last point is, tell us how you were able to channel your work as a lawyer, as an attorney, which is, a lifelong work and commitment, and certainly a lot of learning and building, into something else? Were you able to develop a coaching practice around teaching other lawyers how to be great lawyers and successful lawyers? What were some of the things you were able to do, channeling your own insights and accomplishments?
Okay. So for me, um, I was done with the law practice. I do consult with female lawyers, and especially the young women that think they want to become a lawyer. That's a big decision. And law school is extremely difficult. And then passing the bar is a whole nother thing. But and then practicing law, finding a job, whatever, that's all difficult. So, and I'm very well versed on all of it. Building their own practice or whatever it might be. I've done that, all that. But my heart lies in writing. It always has. It's always helped me to get through things too. I mean, I wrote everything down, my feelings, my emotions, my um, everything. I'm a writer, and that's how I got through law school, actually. So I do consult people in writing. I deal with attorneys on cases and jury selection. I do a lot of different things, but my love and my heart is with writing and supporting other writers and that want to become published authors. That's a big dream for a lot of people. So when I first achieved that dream 5, 6 books ago, however many that was, I decided, I mean, with that divine inspiration that I had, this would really be a good idea to help me kind of restructure my life and to have more purpose and meaning. And a lot of people just want to know what their purpose in life is. Mine is to inspire and empower people, not just women, but people in general. And we do have men in our series that are extremely good writers and wonderful people, and that have really great stories. They're very open, very authentic, and vulnerable to wanting to help other people and open their hearts to be able to do that. Is a big deal. It's not easy to write some of these stories. And most people tell me that they cry all the way through writing. Each story that they write, they cry all the way through it.
Well,
It's
writing is
healing.
cathartic. Yeah.
Very cathartic, yes.
Cathartic. So I can see that that could be the case, but I can also see something else, and we are kind of nearing the end of the interview. So I just kind of wanted to mention is that sometimes, you know, when we're handed lemons, we need to make lemonade. Sometimes things that happen are actually warning signs or even messages, as you put it, divine messages, to tweak us to go into another direction of something that a talent or a gift we already have within ourselves. And and the crisis is the catalyst that brings it out, so that you know, we shift gears, but it turns out to be that silver lining blessing in disguise, because it's something always wanted to do. In your case, writing was always a passion of yours. I share that passion with you. I'm also a writer, quite a bit of a writer. But I think that's a big loud message here that we could, you know, end on a high note, that for the audience that's watching, is that you maybe thought that you were finished because you only knew law. And you know, I understand how that might be when you're in that moment. But to realize that there's other things inside of you that can grow and can become another form of a business or something you can monetize and still have a nice life with, while also being maybe a little less stressed and a little more healthy, is great. And I think that's kind of what this book is, and the series of this book is about, and the authors within the book. And I also think that that's what people need today, because they're going through a lot of stuff. People are going through a lot of stuff, and everyone suffers on a different level. So I think it's great that you have these books, and I think that people can really benefit from them. But we can't get them to benefit from them if we don't know where to go to buy them. So that's my last question. Please tell us where we can go to get the book. And yeah, hold it up. Please hold it up to the screen, the actual book, and tell us where we can go to get
Okay. This is the most recent, as I mentioned, and
hold it really good to the screen. Like, hold it up great to the screen so we can see it.
Let's see.
Properly. Oh, okay, that's a little too close to the screen. Go back, go back, go back. It's out of focus. Go back. Go back, please. Yeah, there, that's good. Leave it like that. Okay, now where can we get it?
Okay, you can get it from Amazon. You can also get it from any of, you can get a signed copy, a personal signed copy from any of our authors. They all have copies themselves, and they sell the books themselves. They're and they love to do that. They are on Amazon, all three.
Okay, so I will include the Amazon link in the show notes for the audience so they can go easily and find it. And I'll include any other links that we have as well. I want to thank you so much for taking this time to be here and share your message with us. We'll say the name of the books again. It's Hope. Say it for me. Hope.
Mission Hope. Mission Hope. Thriving Through Seasons of the Soul was the first one.
Right.
Mission Hope, Inspirational Stories of Faith and Triumph is the second one. And Mission Hope, The Power of Love is the third one.
Okay. And everybody needs to get all three to get
Absolutely.
Yes, because one is about one thing and and it follows suit, as you said. So
Yes.
we need to get all of them. But start with one, because you know what they say, everything starts with one step. So go check it out. Again, the links will be there. Thank you so much for joining us today, my lovely audience. And thank you to Charr. And I'm Janette Burke, your host, and we have JTV YouTube Live every Wednesday, a new one with a new book author, sometimes also a small business person or a professional, but predominantly book authors in this series. So we hope you'll come back and join us every Wednesday. That link of where to follow us for the JTV YouTube Live shorts will also be in the show notes below. And until next time, continue to be fabulous. This is